Welcome everyone to Everyday Talk podcast. We're here. We have a really special guest, Tiana Chambers, and Tiana is a community organizer working to create a culture change in LDS dating. Through her project Shift Dating, she's hosting group conversations about LDS singles scene to get to the root of what changes need to happen and how. But change it now.
And now, yeah.
She's also working to bring solutions through challenges, single events, and other unique dating experiences with her business, Shift Events. Welcome to the podcast, Tiana.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So walk us through so your background is marketing, and what made you decide to start this business or this idea project?
Yeah, I think I have just been a part of so many little conversations with small groups or individuals over the years where we're all saying the same things about our dating culture, where it's like, okay, there's only so much that's in my power, but I can't change everybody else. And if we could all just get on the same page about X, Y, and Z, then everything would be better. And it's like, okay, who's going to tell everybody?
Yeah.
And I finally just had a day of, I guess it's me. I will go tell everybody.
I'll take it, yeah.
I'll take the lead here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it all started.
Okay. And tell us more about Shift. So it's an Instagram page, right?
Yeah. It's an Instagram page. It's kind of a community, an initiative to shift dating in the LDS scene specifically. So basically, the main priority is that we have weekly conversations on there around a specific dating topic. So some of the topics we've covered before are curiosity versus interest, how to get asked out more and be more approachable, specifically for women. We'll be talking next week about how to make women feel safe in dating, which I think is a really important topic.
Yeah.
How to get less discouraged. I mean, I have a list of 20 topics because more keep coming up
adding,
in my phone of okay, we got to go talk about this. We got to talk about gender roles in dating and singles wards and how to approach dating within the singles ward, things like that. So
okay, so you open a question box as well for people to put topics they want to talk about?
Yeah. And a lot of them just kind of come up organically. I'm trying to do better at managing conversations when we start to derail and saying, okay, we're just going to save this topic for another time. It's a little tricky because all of the topics are tied together, obviously.
Yeah,
but
they all tie together.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have maybe a favorite or something you've seen a very impactful conversation happening? A topic that...
That is a good question. I think in general, there are just a lot of male-female perspective differences that people are not seeing and not having open conversations about. Because guys in particular feel like they can't tell women how they're feeling because it'll sound like they're making excuses and they'll get yelled at. And so the responses are anonymous and guys are like, okay, here's the real struggle. I can't talk to you because XYZ behavior makes you less approachable, or you're, all in a group of girls and you never leave and separate and I can't talk to you all when you're in a unit closed off and
they're defending each other. An approach. Yeah.
And I think those are really hard conversations to have in person, one-on-one with people.
Yeah.
They have to really be open to receive that. But in an anonymous group space where we're really encouraging hey, listen to what people are saying.
Yeah.
Stop getting so defensive and just actually listen. That I think opens people up to a little more learning. And I've gotten a lot of messages from people saying I had never heard this before from the other side. I had no idea this is what I was doing wrong or something I could change to be more successful. So
That's awesome. It's much needed because I don't feel like the sides talk enough about it. Like you said, maybe if someone expresses their concern or their challenges, they might be perceived a certain way. And that, the anonymous setting really brings that, people oh yeah, and I seen in your stories, there's DMs, right? So people can go more in depth and talk about their stories. Is it going as you imagine, or has it changed much? Or because how long ago did you start?
like a month or two ago. It hasn't been
Yeah.
going that long. I think the most surprising thing to me is I thought it would take a while to build up engagement. So I think in my mind, I was geared up to take a month or two, maybe even more like 6 months before people actually started messaging me. And it was immediate. Like the first time I posted a poll, everyone was like, I have things to say. I need to talk about this. So that has been very surprising. And how open people have been as well, where people are very vulnerable in their messages and willing to just share a lot more than I was expecting, but it's been a very sweet experience to like have and to be trusted with the information. I'm like, oh, thank you so much, everybody. You
feel like a best friend where someone trusts you to be vulnerable. So by the name Shift, I think it suggests something is wrong, or like we have to change. What are some of the things of modern dating that you see there, like there are challenges or bad things we're doing, bad habits that we hopefully want to change?
Yeah, I think the apps and social media have both really done a number on us and our interpersonal skills. I think the apps have, one, put us in this swipe mentality where a lot of us are approaching dating with a vision of what we're looking for, and then we are trying to find someone who fits that mold, and we're just swiping past until we find someone who fits that mold. And that's not how real connection works, right? If you ask most married couples, especially those who didn't meet on the apps, like, would you have swiped on your partner? Most of them will say no. They're like, that wasn't the exact thing I was looking for, but we had a connection. They showed up in good ways, and that, helped me decide to keep dating them. And I think app culture doesn't allow for that. It also prioritizes the wrong things, right? We see pictures first. You don't get a vibe for someone through a two-dimensional picture. I actually had a friend who met her husband through a Lord of the Rings book club. That's was awesome. Meeting.
I'm a big fan, so that's an idea.
What a unique, fun way. Go get unique hobbies and participate in groups around them is the lesson there. But they had been meeting on Zoom, and they both hadn't really noticed each other, and then they all met up for this group picnic, and they were both like, wait a second. But I think we're not scanning for that connection, that in-person vibe when we're just operating through a screen. And we're seeing the wrong things first, and it shifts our priorities to the wrong things. And then on top of the apps, which are causing such a big set of issues, they're also getting rid of our resilience because we don't have to go approach somebody and risk rejection. We just have to swipe, and then we don't even have to send a message. We just wait and see if they swiped back, and then we get a match. It's like there's no risk involved, really. So we're losing our resilience and our vulnerability in general because of the apps. And then social media, all we're seeing of people's relationships are highlights.
Comparisons.
So it ramps up the comparison. The algorithm's also showing us the most conventionally attractive people. So we're convinced that's the norm, and that's what we all deserve and should be looking for. It's really warping our perception of reality and what a healthy relationship should look like.
That's concerning. But
and AI, I'm sure, is just going to be doing
we just see the tip of the iceberg now, what's about to happen. So in summary, we want to bring more authenticity, connection with in person, a connection, that resilience you talked about, not just if a problem arises, oh no, there's a big pond out there, a lot of fish, right? Is there anything else that you think it's really messed up our relationship dating reality, that some patterns, behaviors?
I don't know where this issue necessarily began, but I do feel like it seems like in the last 20 years. I remember watching my older cousins date, and they had such a different experience than I did. First dates are a really big deal these days, and especially in-person asked first dates, and they shouldn't be, right? We have made them too big of a deal. So I have this theory of the cycle where I'm like, because first dates are a really big deal, and then because there's such a big deal, everybody is the stakes are really high. I got to make sure I really like them before I say yes or before I ask on this first date. And so then they are less frequent. And then because they're less frequent, they become a really big deal. And we are just like ballooning this issue. Whereas if we all were just going on more first dates and chilling out about it and just seeing that as an opportunity to get to know somebody, I think dating would be a lot less stressful for all of us and a lot more fun.
For sure. So like exploring curiosity.
Yes.
Being more simple, more chill about it. I love that. So I think dating apps are getting a lot of hate these days, right?
I'm one of the people who hates them.
Do you see any benefits or any ways that we can be used in a healthy way?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously a lot of people have gotten married from the apps who wouldn't have otherwise. Yeah. My personal theory is that they've done more harm than good.
Right.
But they are kind of the choice method of dating. I think we can be conscious, careful users of the apps, right?
Yeah.
Read through an actual profile. Try to be open-minded and not think, do I instantly think that person is hot? I think, okay, do I think I could possibly want to meet them? Do they seem interesting? Make sure your profile is interesting. Don't perpetuate the problem by only including 5 pictures and no information, but like list some hobbies, some interests, some discussion topics so that you can actually foster connection. And then have actual good conversations and meet up quickly. Like don't talk on the apps for a month. That's such a waste of time. Go meet in person.
Right? Yeah, I think like a few back and forths and kind of ask them out and I think being open, right? Like you said, the apps are just like a superficial side of people. And then when you meet in person, would you say like give them a second chance? Maybe first day was kind of, and then you can, let's go on a second day. Unless there's like red flags and like, okay, I don't get along with this person, right? Clearly. But is this usually like a mentality you preach?
Yeah, I usually have about a 3-date minimum rule. Unless there's like, it was so painfully hard to talk to them. Yeah, I try to, and I would recommend other people do the same, like give people more of a chance because I know I have had first dates where I'm like, I just had a rough day and I did not show up as my best self and I was trying, but I was distracted or whatever. And I think everybody has that. We're not all consistent perfectly from day to day. And so trusting that someone could show you another side in the future, or maybe you didn't hit your conversational stride in the first couple dates and that could be coming if you just got to know them a little bit better. I think that's all happened for us with either romantic relationships or friendships, where it's someone we didn't click the moment we first started talking to them, but as we got to know them better, we realized we did have things in common and we did have things we like to talk about. And so that friendship grew. And I think dating is the same. So
like a personal question, and like I always wonder, is it the best way of like at the end of the day you talk about like it, do you want to go another time or like you wake at home, text? What's your opinion? What's your feel about it?
Oh, the tricky thing is I've talked to a lot of women about this and how they feel. My personal preference is I like it when guys at the end of the date say, oh, I'd love to see you again. And there have been a few times where I have felt uncomfortable and I've said, yeah, let's like figure out a time. And then I've had to text them later and say, you know what, I'm so sorry. I should have told you in the moment. I actually don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think we should cut it off now. But for whatever reason, maybe we were like alone somewhere and I didn't know him super well and how he'd react, or I just was feeling too high pressure to hurt his feelings, But I think having the vulnerability to say, oh, I'd love to see you again sometime is overall a good thing. I also think it's totally fine to wait and text and say, hey, I had a lot of fun. I'd love to see you again. If you don't want to put pressure on the situation or you feel less confident in how they're feeling. I'd say if there's a lot of like flirty banter and a lot of fun and it felt like you both kept the conversation going, it's a little safer to say like, oh, when can we keep talking about this? Or let's go do that thing we talked about.
So like be natural. There's not like a right or wrong. Awesome, thank you. And so we're like in Utah, which is a state surrounded by LDS culture, dating culture. And what are some of the things that our culture, some toxic things or bad habits that is doing, it needs to improve? And what are the ways like we could do better in the LDS dating culture?
Yeah, I think I understand why it feels high stakes. Eternity is a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like we believe that you get married and then you're married forever. And that can feel really stressful. As someone who's dated both outside the LDS church and inside the LDS church, my experience dating outside the church, even as a church member, was a lot more positive, unfortunately, because I felt like, I'm trying to make this not come across bad, but I honestly felt like the guys treated me a lot better.
Okay.
There was not a sense of entitlement of, you know what, I'm a priesthood holder and I have a job and I have da-da-da-da, like I check the boxes, I'm impressive.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like, you're impressive and I want to make you feel cared about and appreciated on this date, and I want to make sure you're like well taken care of. And that was just a really refreshing thing for me. I also think Utah specifically, and maybe Utah LDS culture has a very specific type of attractive, more so than other places. When I lived in Washington, D.C., there were a whole lot of different people, and everybody had different types that they were attracted to. Curvy, tall, short, like different ethnicities. Everything was, you know, different vibes. And it was like, go find the person you're attracted to. And I think in Utah, a lot of people are like, this model is what is attractive. And it's kind of that.
Everyone is the same, or like they like the same thing.
It's kind of like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Whether you've watched it or not, I'm sure you've seen the poster and gone, are those all the same person?
Yeah,
and
they all like, copy and paste,
Yeah, and I think we have this danger here where we get told that's what attractive is, and we're not actually listening to like, what am I attracted to? We're measuring, is this person measuring up to what I think society thinks is attractive? Rather than, am I drawn to this person? And I don't know why that's so much more prevalent in Utah and in Latter-day Saint culture, but it's a pretty stark difference from other places I've lived.
It almost forces people to, like, oh, I must be this way to be accepted or to improve my chances, right?
Yeah, like if I want dates, I better get hair extensions and I better I better go blonde and
like hair or the way you dress or type of music, hobbies. It's all kind of like, okay, I must be doing this. So it's like people should embrace their authentic selves, right? Like, and then find people that are maybe interested in that, right?
Yeah, there's this thing called match theory, which is that if you are your most authentic self, you will attract the right people for you. But that feels really vulnerable if you're not attracting massive quantities of people. And it only takes one, but the journey feels a lot harder when you're not finding as many people who align with that. So I think that desire to be wanted and to feel attractive can make people kind of panic and go, okay, I'm just going to be what is attractive because that's how I succeed in dating. And how you succeed in dating isn't by being the most attractive person and getting the most dates, at least in my mind. Success in dating is finding the people you're most aligned with and hopefully finding a life partner.
It's so interesting. Yeah, because you want a partner, like someone that they don't have to be exactly like you know, but compatible. What are some things people should look? Maybe there's some areas we talk about like non-negotiables or things that historically people should like, okay, I need to be more aligned with people in that, with the other person.
Yeah, I would say everyone should go through the process of identifying your personal values. So, like, what is really important to you? One unique-ish value that I've realized I have through the process of dating so much is I really care about generosity. I care about someone who is really quick to help people in their life who need support. Like they have a friend moving, they want to go be generous with their time, generous with their money. That's not from necessarily a dating perspective of I want him to, treat me to all the things, but Like, I don't want someone who's so frugal, they're not tipping the waiter or waitress who worked so hard. And I'm very generous with my time and resources. That's a priority to me. So I want to build a life with someone who shares that value.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people haven't thought through what their core values are and what's most important to them. And so they're looking for things like, do we share the same hobbies? Are they are they hot enough? Or am I attracted enough to them? I think paying attention, especially within LDS culture, religiosity, not just are they LDS, are they not, but do we interpret that religion the same way? Do we live it the same way? Because there are a lot of different,
ways of interpreting and living.
Yeah, and you don't have to be 100% aligned with people. So don't look for someone who it's like, well, I don't watch R-rated movies and I'm looking for someone who also doesn't watch R-rated movies. It's like, okay, why don't you watch R-rated movies? Like, what's the value that's actually around that? Is it that you really value exactness in following every recommendation? Or is it that you feel very sensitive to media and you're really careful about what you let into your home? Just know those things so that you can have conversations and then have conversations around that instead of saying, not what I'm looking for, goodbye. Because you might find that you actually are more aligned with people than you think on your why. You just have some different interpretations on where exactly you've landed on the spectrum. And that's a reality with any person. There's no one you're going to align with perfectly, or one of you is being a people pleaser and not saying what you actually think, right? So I think being willing to have conversations about differences is more important than being a good scanner for those differences.
That's so important that you talk about that, or you touch on that, because those, let's say those interests or those opinions reveal something deeper, right? That, like you said, if you just discard them, it's a red flag to me. And then you're like, okay, and then you lose the chance of going deeper and find out more, like the why, like you said. Maybe their value, like you said, what they consume, or maybe a hobby they have expresses they value community or something like that. It's really important that we don't just judge people, give them benefit of the doubt, and maybe explore a little bit more, and also be vulnerable. I like to answer those. If they ask you about why do you like certain genre, or maybe this way of living, share about it. So vulnerability, is that something that we're lacking these days, or?
Yeah, I had a friend once say that if he could change anything about the dating culture, he said we all need more vulnerability and resilience. And I thought that was very wise. I was like, those sound like opposites, right? Vulnerability and resilience. But I think they go hand in hand, where it's like you are allowed the space to be more vulnerable if you are also more resilient. Like, I feel so much safer letting a guy know my true feelings about him, and knowing I might get rejected. Like, he might not feel the same if I have the resilience to back it up. I have the space to be vulnerable. So I think we view resilience as often like, I've got my walls up, no one can hurt me. And that's not true resilience. That's, you're not willing to actually
David Goggins resilience, I'm tough.
Yeah, exactly. So I think pairing those together and working on practicing baby vulnerability and then recovering from that if it doesn't go the way that we want, whether that's asking someone on dates or telling someone how we really feel, or sometimes it's vulnerable to shoot somebody down and have to have a hard conversation around that and say, you know what, I'm not feeling the same. And instead of ghosting you, I'm going to tell you that and I'm going to see how it goes. Rarely does it go as badly as we think. And I think we're building some important relationship skill muscles when we're willing to take those chances.
Rejection, it's a hard thing, because I've been on both sides, right? I think a lot of people were you have to reject someone, but also you get rejected. And I think, like you said, it builds resilience in a way if you do it correctly. And also you have to be vulnerable if you want something to work out, right? If you always have your guard up, you're not gonna really know that person, or the things are not gonna go progress as well. How can you say how can people deal with rejection better, or like what are some the mindset shifts that people should have?
Yeah, I'll share one that worked really well for me, and it sounds a little bit weird, but one of my non-negotiables is that I want to be with a guy who's really into me.
Yeah.
And so now that's been a mindset I've had to work to shift. Like I realized that, and then I've had to repeatedly kind of embed that to say, okay, I want to be with someone who is stoked about me. So if a guy rejects me, he does not meet my criteria. Yeah. And instead of saying, oh no, what's wrong with me that he doesn't like me? I just say, oh, he didn't meet my criteria. Yeah. Bummer. I will continue looking because someone will. I think there's also some self-reflection upon rejection. Like if you're constantly getting rejected, maybe ask yourself as to why. Maybe if you got far enough along and feel like you had a relationship with the person where you can ask them why to see if there's some things you can work on, that's good. Yeah. But a lot of it is just, we're not all designed to all be interested in each other. That's healthy, that's good. Yeah. What chaos that would be. So just shrugging it off as like, okay, they don't meet my criteria because I'm looking for someone who's interested in me. I'm not gonna panic and try to convince them to be that person.
Not put them in a pedestal and expect them to like you. Yeah. Because that leads a lot to you're not liking yourself, or like we talked about the LDS Utah culture, like, oh, I have to be a certain way to be liked, right? Yeah. That's really cool.
I also think there are two parts of rejection that sting. Yeah. There's the, oh no, it hurts that someone didn't like me. And there's the, oh, I lost that person that I really wanted to keep spending time with.
Things are going well maybe.
Yeah, and I think there are two ways to see it. Sometimes, especially if we've gone a long time without finding someone we're interested in, we're like, oh, it took me years to find them and I lost the only one. And that's a mindset shift. You can either say like, oh no, I only found one and I lost him. Or you can say, okay, there's evidence that exists. That thing I'm looking for exists. I'm gonna keep looking because I know it's out there. If it was out there once, it's bound to be out there again.
I love that, yeah. Because I've seen like times where something I really liked, someone I really liked was interested. I saw a lot of checking the box for like what I wanted. And it ended for some reason why. But I was like, there's someone, or like I know what I want or what I like. Maybe not everything from them, but like, okay, I know these criteria that I like. And it opens your mind and your understanding about yourself too, right? Like there's a lot of self-work that needs to be done in dating. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to like, okay, maybe after a breakup, don't just jump into, seeking a relationship. And it's very like mindset. What are some of the things that people should do in that inner work? Some people call, shadow work, or that they're just doing that internal work of understanding themselves, or what kind of questions they should ask,
Yeah, I think therapy can be a really good starting point. Dating coaches can also help, especially a good dating coach who's not just focused on the practical of like dress this way, do this, but okay, so what's making you react this way? I think also there are a lot of great books out there that can help you understand yourself and your dynamic in relationships. How to Not Die Alone by Logan Ury is a great one.
Okay, I heard a lot about that book.
I actually have had a lot of friends immediately, pretty quickly within 3 months of reading that book, meet their person they married.
Oh, I gotta read that book.
Because I don't think before that book there's someone they would have given a chance to. So really interesting.
Have you read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, highly recommend. It's a really great one. Must read. If you've made it to like past 27 and single in LDS culture and you're wondering why, that book will help. Read. Attached is another great one. Okay. Anything by the Gottmans. But also just like maybe journaling, right? Like having some time to sit and think with yourself, finding friends who will have deeper conversations with you that cause you to reflect. If you can't find that group of friends, come join us on Shift Dating. We have conversations
it's a great community.
Get you to think about like, what is what's my stance on that, and why do I act that way?
Or like, I agree with that person.
Yeah.
That comment.
Yeah, exactly. So I think both talking to yourself, but also talk to some other people and gain different perspectives. You'll learn a lot.
Yeah, because I think if you just stay in your bubble, you maybe perceive yourself a certain way, but then like, oh, maybe you're wrong. Maybe, you know, I think also during dating, like you ask people that you love that care about you, like maybe about the person and that things that you're not seeing. Like they talk about, you know, the rose lenses, and people are just like seeing the good side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have trusted people, right, that can help you doing that internal work. Yeah, self-reflection is really important.
Yeah, I do think there's a danger with self-reflection too, where I think sometimes we get so into self-reflection mode that we're like, I have so much work to do, and we always do, right?
Yeah.
And then people are like, I'm not ready for a relationship because I'm not as good as I want to be. I can see all this progress I can make. But a lot of that progress needs to be made with another person and can be made with another person. I think men in particular can be really hard on themselves of like, I don't think I'm quite where I need to be to date the woman I want to date. And it's like, okay, keep working on getting there and try to date her at the same time. She might give you more grace than you're giving yourself. So maybe let her reject you instead of pre-rejecting yourself. And again, keep working on it, but do both at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive.
I love that because I think even myself, I fall into that because, I mean, I have this passion for personal development, you know, I always want to be my best. And then it's like, I'm not ready. Like I think for me right now, it's more like I want to show myself into, I want to be this person before I find her. I want my life to be a certain way before I find her. What do you think, how can people know if they're ready or to jump into a relationship, and how to get out of that?
That's a good question. I think ready is more about willingness and action than it is about like total inner peace and achievement. And I think most of us will have moments when we are in either the early dating stage or the beginning of a relationship where we'll go, I'm not ready for this. I was unprepared, you know? And I think, you know, if you're fresh off a heartbreak, take some time to heal. If you haven't done any inner work at all and this is brand new to you, maybe let's take a couple months to a year to evaluate, like, let's start the journey. But I think if you are on that journey and you're making some progress, you can go ahead and start dating. I think a therapist, again, a good therapist, pay attention to how, do you feel like your therapist's words actually make sense and are resonating? Because yes, they're licensed, they're also human. But if you're working with a good therapist, they will hopefully let you know, like, I think you're ready. I think you can start dating and we can work through this together. Or maybe you're good on your own. Like a good therapist should tell you at some point, go spread your wings and go just like try it on your own for a little bit. And I think we need to be willing to do that and like put down our professional development books and say, I'm going to go try this out. And then I'll come back and read a chapter later tonight. You know?
I love that. Because I think we're way too hard on ourselves a lot of times. And, you know, maybe, ask someone that you trust, like you said, a therapist, and they'll tell you like, hey, you've improved in these areas. And I can tell, like, from doing therapy for like over a year now, often she'll tell me things I'm like, wow, I don't remember it being that way, and like, look how far I've come. So that's so powerful. As we come to a close, are there like actionable things that people can do to do the shift or shift their views and their dating habits?
Yeah, I mean, along with some of the bigger mindset work that we've talked about, I think a big stalling point for people is just getting to the first date and just like chilling out enough to like get on a bunch of first dates and get to know people. So shifting the bar for a first date from interest to curiosity is key. Stop asking yourself, I don't know if I'm interested yet. you shouldn't know. You haven't spent one-on-one time in a romantic setting to figure that out. Calm down. Go if you're curious enough. And that goes for asking, that goes for accepting. If you're at all curious about this person. Along with that, just talk to more people. I think not everyone, but a lot of people have like some social anxiety, and that's a stumbling block to getting to the dating and relationship they want. So just talk to more people. Talk to the person in front of you in line at the grocery store. Talk to the person at the ward mingle. Have conversations. Don't start with the most attractive person. It's like, well, then you're going to be uncomfortable. It's like, just talk to
build up your levels,
anyone.
Right?
Then decide it's going to be people of the opposite gender. Then decide it's people of the opposite gender your age. And then decide, okay, maybe I'm going to go up and talk to the person who's actually I'm attracted to and see if I can start a conversation with them. But I think just be taking some steps, because a lot of people are like, I'm struggling in dating, it's all a mess. And it's like, okay, so what steps are you taking? What are you doing about it? And if you can't say either I'm pausing to do XYZ personal growth, or I'm gonna start going on more dates this way, or I'm gonna try to get to going on more dates by changing XYZ action, you'll be in the same place in 5 years.
Yeah, you'll be frustrated and like, you feel like time has passed, you're stuck in the same place. Yeah, I think it goes a lot to like the analytical side of like, I think with any skill, if you're not progressing, okay, what's something that maybe it's going wrong, and what can I change? Look for, like you said, books. Go to the shift, check out the page. Other resources online, right? There's a lot of other resources. You mentioned a lot of books. Are there other resources that singles can go to learn like healthy dating relationship habits that you think are like worth checking out?
Yeah, I think Logan Ury is really good. Matthew Hussey, specifically for women, will help you get more dates, help you grow your confidence. I'd say what is her Instagram handle? There's a secure attachment specialist. All of her posts are green. Her name is Julie something. She's really great. But studying secure attachment, I think the more we work towards secure attachment, the better. And maybe what you need is some comfort that you're okay. Seek out resources that give you that. Maybe what you need is a kick in the pants. Go find those resources that give you the kick in the pants. Don't just go to what your comfort zone is. Figure out what you actually need. Do you need motivation to keep going, or do you need to be told you're all right and you have room to grow? And be brave enough to kind of seek out those resources and follow their advice based on what you actually need.
And I think there's only so much knowledge that you consume and you don't act. Because if I often do that myself, like I'll consume so much and then like, oh no, I have to do this better. I have to do this in order to start. And it's like, you're not doing the thing, you gotta, like planning is not doing the thing. You gotta actually go out, like you said, go on dates, be vulnerable, talk to strangers. Baby steps and then progress it.
It's like starting a business, right? Where it's like, well, there's a degree of preparation you should complete, right? Like you should know what you're doing. You should have a fully thought out business plan. You need an idea of how you're going to market your product, whatever. But also, you can get stuck in launching your business perfectly for 10 years and not move and miss out on way faster growth that you would have over that 10 years if you just started and failed quicker and then learned as you went and made adjustments as you went. And so I think maybe that will resonate particularly with the men of like, fail a little faster in dating. Get out there and start implementing some of the things you're learning. It'll be okay.
Don't be afraid of failing. It's all like learning, right? Failure is basically you collecting data and hopefully applying to improve. And Tiana, you bring a great community with Shift. And I think it brings hope to the community in general. What's your vision for the future of dating, and what are you hoping to change and help change with Shift?
What I hope changes, I hope there's more dating in general. I hope to destigmatize it and just lower the stakes. I think that is like mission number one. Can we just lower the stakes and make it more normal for people to go on dates? And then can we help people, I don't want to say lower their standards by any means.
It's still important to have standards, right? Like,
right, like very important. Keep those nice and high. Especially if you're showing up as a great partner, expect someone to do the same. But can you shift your standards to the most important things and focus on building a relationship? Find a good person to build with instead of finding a perfect person already. It's kind of like house shopping, right? Instead of looking for the house that has every single element you want from the beginning and like shopping and shopping and shopping, you can do that. You can keep looking for the exact house you want in the exact location you want that has the right number of bedrooms and it's got the sauna you want and it's got yada, yada, yada. Or you could find some land that's good land and you can build it. And so I would say, let's stop the swipe culture of where's the perfect house and start finding someone you want to build something with.
I love that analogy, because maybe there's a lot of good things that you want, and maybe there's like a few other things that you don't have yet that could be built, that could be changed, and a lot of people stop themselves because they don't have like the whole list, right? It's about like, okay, what's a must-have, what's a like a nice thing to have, like about that list, and like what you like and what you want. To end our episode here, it's been a great conversation. Can you share with the audience any words of encouragement, any specific advice that they can take today?
Yeah, I think dating can be hard, but it can also be really fun. And I think as we all kind of come together and get on the same page of we're doing this and we're going to make it good, we'll all be better off. And I do think love and partnership is worth it in the long run. Even if it's a slog right now, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth putting the effort. Where can people find you? Your pages, your socials, so people can follow you.
Yeah, the best place to come find me is on the Shift Dating account. That also connects to the events page, but it's linked there, so I won't repeat both. But shift.lds.dating on Instagram is where we have our conversations, and I share everything else I'm doing over there.
Awesome. Yeah, and look out for a lot of events that are coming throughout the year, singles events, the great way to meet people. But thank you for coming. We've had an amazing conversation. I've learned so much, and I hope the audience has learned it as well. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This has been really fun.
Yeah, stay tuned for more conversations to learn and to impact your community. Thank you.